Hi beautiful people! Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Joy. This is my fourth update on the 25 in 2025 project pan. This is a rolling project pan, and the goal of this project is for me to use the products in the project 25 times. I've been doing project 100 uses in the past, and this time I changed it a bit to shorten the number of uses in terms of my goal so that I get to use more products from my inventory this year. I started with 25 products in this project, and I've already hit goal on 15 products. These are the products that I still have yet to hit goal on in my last update. But for this update, I managed to hit goal on 6 of them. So let me start with the Mary Kay Honey Glow Finisher. This one I was at 19 uses last time, but this time I now hit goal on this one. I used this 6 times. Same with the Alouette Face Paint. This one I've been using this as a blusher. I was also at 19 uses previously, and I also now have hit goal on this one. For the Careline blush, for this one, this is the Starlight Shine. I was at 21 uses, so I just needed to use this 4 times. This is quite pigmented actually, or perhaps I should say, when I hit my brush on this blush, I really need to be very careful because it gets a lot of the pigment from here, and that makes it quite pigmented, I would say. So far, for the blushes in the project that I have, I've been enjoying them. But between Alouette and Careline, I would probably reach more for this one, the Alouette, because there's less effort. And the shade also, this is on the rosy side. And this one, I'm not really sure how to describe it, but you can see it's also a bit on the red side. Now for this Urban Decay highlighter, the shade is Sin. I was already at 15 uses in my previous update, and I've used this 10 times for this update, so I also hit goal on this one. When I started this project this year, there was no pan showing yet for this highlighter, and I managed to actually get this much tan showing for this highlighter. Perhaps this is a highlighter I can focus on next year to use up, but not this year, because as I said earlier, my goal is to use as many products in my inventory as I can. And I show love to more products than I did in my previous years doing project panning. Now for this Baxi single eyeshadow, I've been using this as an eyeshadow topper and as a highlighter. I was already at 17 uses last time, and I also hit goal on this one after 8 uses. Then for this bullet lipstick, this is Wet n Wild Mega Last Bullet Lipstick, and the shade is Cinnamon Spice. I was at 13 uses last time, and this time I now hit goal on this one. So I've been focusing a lot on this one because I wanted to already be done with this. This one is something I would consider decluttering by the end of the year. I feel that this is now going bad actually. Yeah, there's some waxy smell, a hint of waxy smell already. So these are the products I hit goal on, this 6. And this 4 would still be in the project because I still haven't hit goal on them. Let me start with this Bella Pierre Cosmetics. So this is a mineral loose powder blush. The shade is Autumn Glow. I have used this 9 times in my previous update, and for this update I've used this 8 times. So that means I'm now at 17 uses. And then for this studio makeup, this is a finishing powder. I was at 15 uses last time, and I only used this 5 times for this update. So 5 more uses. So this will still stay in the project. After this, when I hit goal on this one, I'm considering rolling in a loose powder in place of this. And then I have 2 lip liners. Let me start with this one, the Essence lip liner. For this one, I was already at 13 uses in my previous update, and I only managed to use this 6 times for this update. And then for this Jonte Blue, I've used this much more than the Essence lip liner. I was at 16 uses, but I only used this 4 times for this update. Having said that though, this is now at 20 uses, so I just need to use this 5 times. Next are the products I rolled in. So these are the first 3 products I rolled in into the project. I rolled this in on my second update because I hit goal on 3 products. The 3 products that I actually hit goal on, the first 3 products was a foundation, an eyebrow powder, and a lip gloss. And I also rolled in the same category. So I have this Etude Double Lasting Foundation. For this one, I was at 13 uses in my previous update, and for this update, I now have hit goal on this one. I used this 12 times. So I no longer have a foundation in the project. Then for the eyebrow powder, this Nichido, there are 2 eyebrow powders in here. So I count this as 2 products in my inventory, and I'm focusing on this left one. This one, I've used this 14 times in my previous update, and for this update, I also hit goal on this one. Now, let me now tell you that I'm keeping this into the project because this will still be, the product that I'll be rolling in place of this eyebrow powder on the left. I'll now be focusing on the right one. For this right side, I've actually used this already 100 times in my previous year's Project 100 uses. So that's what it looks like using that 100 times. And for this project, I'll use it 25 times more. And then for the lip gloss, this is a Mary Kay lip gloss. I was at 17 uses in my previous update, and I also hit goal on this one. I've used this 8 times. So for the first 3 products that I rolled into the project, I've now hit goal on all 3. These are the products I rolled in my previous update. I needed 12 products to roll in, but I actually rolled in more than 12 products because for this Pink Sugar, this is a duo palette. There's a blush and a bronzer, so I count them as 2 products. And then for this Pure Bronze and Brighten, I also count this as 3 products. There's a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer in here. Let me start my update with the Biore UV Aqua Rich Light Up Essence. So this is a sunscreen, and I'm using this as a face primer. I've used this 6 times. For the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, I've used this 7 times. I've already used this 100 times last year or the year before. I don't remember, but I already definitely have worked on this 100 times. I'm thinking perhaps if I continue working on this one after hitting the 25 uses, I may be able to use this up. The challenge is actually reaching for a concealer because I don't normally use concealer. And then for the bronzer, this one, this number 7 bronzer, I've already used this 100 times previously, and I have used this 7 times for this update. So there's still a long way to go to get to 25 uses. but this is what it looks like after using this 107 times. And then for this pink sugar, so I mentioned there's a bronzer and a blush in here. So for the bronzer, I've used this 3 times, and the blush, I also used that 3 times. So far, I enjoy using the bronzer. For the blush, not so much. It's too matte for me. And also, it's quite pigmented. So I need to be careful when I hit my brush. For the Pure Bronze and Brighten, so there's a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer in here. For the bronzer, I've used that 6 times. For the highlighter, I've used this 9 times rather. And for the blush, I've used this 7 times. So I've been using the highlighter more than the other two. But I've already used this 100 times each in my Project 100 uses. And as you can see, it doesn't look like I've used this a lot, but I've already used this over 100 times. This is quite pigmented, so I'm actually not getting a lot of products in here whenever I use it. And then for this Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink Blush, I've used this 4 times. And so far, I am enjoying this one. Then for the eyeliner, I have a Lancome eyeliner. And this one is the one that I've used the most amongst all the products in here because I've used this 12 times. And so far, I'm enjoying using this one. I'm using a blush. I'm using a brush whenever I use this actually. But it's time for me to sharpen this one. And then for the lip products, I have 4 here. Let me start with the 3 bullet lipsticks from Wet n Wild, starting with Cherry Picking. This one, I've used this 6 times. And then for the Move Outa here, this one, I've used this 10 times. So this one, it looks like I've used this the most, because it's not peaking when we have it all the way down, because I've already worked on this previously. I think it's also in a Project 100 uses. And then for this shade, this Think Pink, which I don't really like, but I have this in the project, I've used this 6 times. And then for this Beauty Now and Next liquid lipstick, this is a matte liquid lipstick. It's a quite drying liquid lipstick. I've used this 5 times. The shade actually is quite nice because whenever I use this, it makes my teeth whiter. So that's what I love about this color. But it's difficult for me to wear this at work. So I usually try to tone it down by tapping the Mary Kay lip gloss, because you can see this has a shade. Not really sure what the shade name of this one. Tawny Nude. So there. Just try to tone down the red shade. And lastly, we have here this Juicy Pang blusher. When I introduced this, I mentioned that it doesn't show. I realized because I'm not using enough amount of product. That's why it's not showing. And so far, I actually love this. Although, even though I said I love this, I've only used this twice. So these are the products I have in the project that will still stay in the project. In addition to this, we have the Bella Peer blush that will stay in the project, the Studio Makeup, these 2 lip liners, So those are the 4 products that will stay. And that means we have 19 products in here. I already mentioned I'm rolling in this eyebrow powder, focusing on this shade, the one on the right. So that makes it 20. I am rolling in 3 foundation into the project. There are still 3 foundation from my inventory that I haven't worked on this year. So I'm bringing them all 3 into the project. And let me explain why. Let me start with the LA Girl Pro Coverage. This one, I've worked on this already 100 times, perhaps more than 100 uses actually. What is left is somewhere there, and I think this is more than 25 uses. So I'm confident that I will use this more than 25 times before I fully use this up. The shade of this is fair. So I'm putting this into the project. Then I have 2 more foundation in my inventory. One is a mineral foundation, and it is this sheer cover. I've already tried to use this and just to get a feel on how it looks on me and whether I can actually work on this 25 times this year. I think I can. My problem with this one is the shade is quite dark on me. So I'm thinking, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking that I may make it work with this LA Girl white foundation. I'm not gonna mix them together, obviously, because this is a mineral foundation, but I'm thinking perhaps I put this on first and then I put this on top. We'll see if it would work. Otherwise, I will not hit goal on this white foundation. That's the only thing. I don't have any foundation apart from this sheer cover mineral foundation that is quite dark. The shade of this foundation is golden. This one is also medium to full coverage, and I'm not used to that. It's more full for me actually. I'm more of a light coverage person usually. That's my usual day-to-day foundation coverage. I would just wear tinted sunscreen or tinted sunscreen if I can. And that's what I've been doing actually when I hit goal on this Etude House Double Lasting Foundation. I've been just using tinted sunscreen. So there, I have the 3 foundation into the project. So that would make it 23 products. Now, I want to introduce some more products just in place of the one that I hit goal on. So I've hit goal on the highlighter, and I want to bring this in. This is a Wet n Wild highlighter. This is the Boozy Brunch, and this is more on the golden shade versus the one on the Pure Bronze and Brighten that's more silver, similar to the Urban Decay Sin. And then I hit goal on the lip gloss, and I want to bring this in. This is BTLA lip gloss. This is also a product I already use 100 times and more than 100 uses actually. So perhaps if I hit goal on the 25 uses and continue working on this, I might be able to use this up. I'm not doing any project use up actually this year, but I'm doing something on the side, just not officially, and see whether I'll be able to use up some of the products I have in my inventory. And lastly, that I'm bringing into the project is this eyeliner. This is the LA Girl eyeliner. I feel that because I like using this Lancome a lot, I might be able to hit goal on this before my next update. So I want to start working on another eyeliner. And this is new. I haven't tried using this yet. And that would mean that I'd be able to use most of my eyeliners. I think there's still 2 more in my inventory that I can work on once I hit goal on this LA Girl eyeliner. So these are the products that I will have in my next update. Let's see if I'll be able to hit goal on a few of them, and if there would be an opportunity for me to roll in another product in my next update. Let me know what you think of my progress. Do you think I'm slow, or I'm just using my progress is just right, just the usual? I feel that my progress is a bit slower if I compare it in the previous years, because I've been wearing my products, the products in my inventory almost daily, unlike recently I'm not really wearing makeup every day. So let me know what you think. And let me thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!